Hello, dear friends. The Great Awakening is not an abstract idea, but something unfolding in real time. Opinion piece, Purge, Takeover, Final Phase, Peace in War, Turning Point, Power Outages, Accountability, Truth Comes Out, Major Operations, War Without Flags. Let's start. Purging accountability means investigating and clarifying who is responsible for an event or incident. The verb purify derives from to purity or to cleanse, but it implies thoroughly examining a matter to eliminate impurities or irregularities, and determining the causes and those responsible in tragedies or mistakes. Reports from multiple high-level channels indicate that the final phase is already underway, according to Steve Biko. That is to say, the moment many were warned about has begun. In other words, the White Hat's operations, along with the Space Force infrastructure, are taking control of the global communications network. I believe we are witnessing a restructuring of the world order, and geopolitical alliances as we know them are about to change. Blackout. According to the Telegram channel Tier 4B ISO 20022, the whispered prophecy is being fulfilled, and the world's communication networks are being disconnected on one after another. Some transmission towers are silent, presenters disappear mid-sentence, and major networks are offline. In his view, the phase of the controlled blackout has begun. Emergency transmission systems are ready on several continents. Global communication is now under Starlink's control. Quantum encryption filters every signal, every transmission, and every frequency. For the first time in history, the flow of information is controlled by the people. This is not chaos but correction. The blackout serves as a barrier between reality and deception. The coalition is carrying out coordinated dismantling of data centers, banks, and networks linked to the previous system. While the surface goes dark, every operation is absolute, silent, and clean. The Starlink constellation is in place and ready to transmit information. Traditional satellite systems linked to major media outlets are expected to cease operations. Conventional transmission towers are being phased out of the grid. This is not symbolic. Excuse me, I've lost. This is not symbolic. It is an operation measure. The 10-day blackout period is beginning. Localized power outages, temporary internet disruptions, and mobile phone signal failures may occur as part of a coordinated blackout designed to ensure public safety while critical operations are underway. QFS synchronization at the highest level is reportedly complete. Asset-backed financial frameworks are being phased in, and the old fiduciary system is nearing its final stage. Cleansing. The accountability process began years ago is being accelerated. Long-time corruption charges are reportedly being brought to justice. Courts are being held behind closed doors. Many believe this moment represents a historic turning point. The darkest cannot last forever. The truth will come to light sooner or later. Faith remains essential. For many, the Great Awakening is no longer an abstract idea, but the moment unfolding in real time. Prepare for silence, confusion, and disbelief. Devices may freeze, channels may freeze, and power grids may flicker. The truth is preparing to be revealed behind that silence. Once the system stabilizes, the world will see an uncensored broadcast that will reveal what has been hidden for generations. Don't fear what you cannot see. The light has never gone out. It is simply the fog that blinded humanity that is dissipating. Those who remain calm and serene will guide others through what lies ahead. The blackout doesn't mean the end. It is the moment when the story begins again, when history begins again. Nothing will ever be the same when the screams come alive. Silence is the first step toward the age of truth. Your serenity will become someone else's strength when the signal wakens. The darkest hours of the night arrive just before dawn. Dimblance. Ismael Perez goes further when he says that the coalition is working alongside benevolent beings to dismantle the dark side's control structures and prepare humanity for a higher frequency civilization called the New Earth. It asserts that these forces are neutralizing a corrupt artificial intelligence that, according to him, has influenced wars and politics for millennia. The momentum is building. The coalition continues its mission to restore planetary balance and prepare humanity for a higher frequency civilization. We are living in a time of acceleration. This is the transition to a new chapter for humanity. The mission continues. Equinox. According to Alexander Quinn, the March 20th equinox is causing a significant energetic shift. An equinox is one of the two annual moments when the length of day and night is equal, occurring on March 20th and 21st and September 22nd and 23rd. This equinox marks one of the most important energetic turning points of the year. But it's not simply a change of season. It's a planetary reset point where energetic cycles are completed and new ones begin. What will you sow in this new cycle? In the days leading up to the equinox, many people begin to notice unusual sensations, fatigue, sudden emotional shifts, mental clarity, or the feeling that something deeper is changing, both internally and collectively. Ancient cultures recognize the equinox as a time when new cycles are sown, and the intentions planted begin to grow throughout the following year. Opinions. You are awakening beings when you don't allow external chaos. Your awakening begins when you don't allow external chaos to disturb your peace. Change your perspective and you will change your reality. The times you are living in now are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to awaken you from a long sleep, says Kesharas. A great friction is taking place, according to Saint Germain via Celia Wilder. As the control of the icons and their puppets wakens, we can expect even more hidden truths to come to light, revealing the extent of the manipulation. When these truths are revealed, many will suddenly awaken, and in many cases be shocked. But this realization is crucial for awakening from the lethargy in which humanity has been immersed for generations. According to Steve Biko, the divine quality of abundance has nothing to do with money, gold, or wealth. It has everything to do with a river of love flowing into an ocean of love and beyond. In his opinion, the only abundance worth experiencing is the abundance of love or its derivatives. According to Buddha, 3 dangers we fall are attachment to desire, aversion to rejection, and ignorance. Ignorance lies in the fact that none of these will liberate us, yet we continue to do so, day after day, only with new objects of desire. According to Kavamur, most human beings currently alive will never experience death again. Not all, but most. Not because of technology, but because of a spiritual transformation. Based on many confirmations, he believes the Pleiadians when they state that the chain is planned for people currently alive. Alchemy of the body according to Octavia Basile. You have been taught that time moves in only one direction, that the body must decompose, that aging is unavoidable, and that illness is a natural consequence of existence. The body is not a fixed structure. The body is a field of consciousness that responds to memory, belief, trauma, emotion, and frequency. When the original energetic imprint that created the condition is released, the body will no longer need to contain the distortion. The body remembers its natural state, coherence, regeneration, harmony, and youth. Reversing aging is not something done to the body. It is what happens naturally when your frequency realigns with your original blueprint. War without flags according to Clandestino. We are at war with a flagless entity that has infiltrated nations around the world. A secret society that uses power and influence to infiltrate and subvert countries, carrying out its orders. The destabilized nations allow them to plunder the wealth and resources of these countries and their people to fund their machinery and maintain their global influence and power. Eliminating this entity and its assets by force is proving to be the easy path. The hard path is getting the brainwashed public to understand the unfathomable levels of evil, corruption, and infiltration, and then getting them on board with the operation. Current events. The price of gold has fallen 5%, while the price of silver has dropped 14%. Israel eliminates the Secretary of Iran's Supreme Security Council. The aircraft carrier Gerald Ford burned for 30 straight hours. Trump sends 2,500 Marines to Kar Island in Iran, according to Scott Ritter. Lindsey Graham said this: whoever controls Kar Island controls the fate of this war. According to Mr. Poole, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps spokesman claimed that the missiles they fired were a decade old and that their real weapons haven't even been used yet. Iran is saving its new weapons for when someone opens the vaults under Isfahan. The real weapon Iran has held for 47 years is information. Every deal the dark side has made with the regime is documented and buried under a mountain. The crown jewel was never oil. Europe. Brussels wants that the Iran's is not Europe's war and refuses to send military assets to the Strait of Hormuz. Ukraine accepts inspection of damaged oil pipeline in hopes of lifting Hungary's veto on his loan. UNESCO warns of tsunami risk in the Mediterranean. The war in Iran is diverting tourism to Spain. Americas. A 5.8 magnitude earthquake shook Cuba. Power has been restored to nearly 40% of Havana. Petro claims Colombia is being bombed from Ecuador. Paraguay approves trade agreement with Mercosur. Nearly 55% of Argentinians disapprove of Milei's administration, according to a poll. Chile installed trenches and fences on its northern border to combat irregular migration. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.